Hey everyone, I am Blind Ryan and I actually did it right this time. I actually hit record instead of stream. So this is about my asthma because there was interest in it and I'm still going through the same fibro flare. It's actually gotten worse, so that kind of sucks. And in the previous video, if you're coming straight from that one, I forgot to mention one thing and somebody helped me come up with another thing, so I'll mention them here very quickly before I get into business. Salt helps me, like French fries or potato chips or ramen or anything really salty helps me. But like with the booze, it's all in moderation. Just if you know you got a flare and you know salt helps, just don't eat a whole bunch of it all at once and don't eat it day over day over day. Just kind of use it as an emergency. And then the second thing was there are 3 levels of fibroflare. There is the joint pain, there is the muscle and joint pain, and then there is the skin hypersensitivity muscle and joint pain. So somebody was asking about, what does the pain feel like? What is this, that, and the other? And I came up with that little system. So I just wanted to add those on as a bit of an addendum to the last video. So as you can hear, my asthma is currently as good as it's going to be. So I do want to preface this by saying, look, I've got my inhaler. I've got this brand new mask that was given to me by my roommate. And you'll be able to tell very quickly that I've never worn a mask before as I try to open this. Oh, am I going to have to get my knife out? Oh no, here we go. I am a professional. So what I'm going to do here, this is kind of a two-parter. I'm going to go into my asthma, but I'm also going to wear this mask thing so that everybody can tell that I'm telling the truth about not being able to breathe when I'm in these things. Now, when I start being able to not breathe, I'm going to take this off and take my asthma stuff. So there's not going to be any worry about me passing out or anything. So, and I don't care what your fucking politics are on the masks. I have my own politics on the masks. They're not important right now. What's important is to show that people with lung issues cannot wear these. Some people with lung issues. So let's see if I can put this on and oh God in heaven. Or is this supposed to go on this way? Does it even matter? No, it's got to be this way because the fucking thing is up here. So you can definitely tell I've never worn one of these before. This is also to prove to my doctor whether what I'm saying is true, that I cannot wear these. So, alright. God, I look ridiculous. So I was born 3 months early. And, damn it, won't stay there. I was born 3 months early. And, among other things, I've had issues with my lungs. Damn it, how do people keep this shit from moving? I'll just put my hand here. That'll work. And, so I was born 3 months early. I was born with asthma. I got too much oxygen in the incubator, so I've got asthma. And, and I also have COPD. I got that diagnosed last year, just before COVID hit. And, my doctor seems to think I'm faking this. So, Copeland, this is for you, buddy. Does it sound like I'm fucking faking it? What was I gonna say? Living with asthma, basically from what I've heard from other people, my asthma is the same as anyone else's. You get a trigger and you can't breathe. But mine are way worse because I'll actually pass out. I've actually died a few times post-childhood from not being able to breathe. I even died once in jail, so fucking hell. So it's a tightening in the chest and the throat. Like you can't, or at least I can't, your mileage may vary as always, get enough air through my mouth into my lungs. My problem, maybe it's the COPD, maybe that's what that means, is an inhalation problem. As you can see, I'm having a very hard time getting air into my lungs. So it's hard for me to breathe in, which these masks directly influence. So, fuck. As you can see, I can't catch my breath. And I'm starting to gray out. Fuck. Alright. That's enough of that shit. Let me just throw this away real quick. And immediately... Yes, I know I'm supposed to use a spacer. Let me just get a drink of coffee. By the way, I don't know why, but coffee actually helps with asthma. I'm not sure how that works. Maybe it's the caffeine. Anyway. Fucking hell. So, as you saw, couldn't breathe in. And my O2 levels are low. The lowest they are, it's like oxygen saturation or O2. I don't know exactly what the terminology is. Maybe a doctor could help me with that, but it's always been in the 30th percentile. It's always been in the 30s. The lowest it's been is in the 20s. When I was at my heaviest, I'm still losing weight, so. Oh, fuck me. I'm gonna start over. So, born 3 months early, incubator, too much oxygen. My issues are breathing in and oxygen levels. And basically what the symptoms are tightness of chest, tightness of throat, even harder being able to breathe, cough, the wheeze, all that happy horse shit. And it's just worse for me than it is for other people because I was born with I was born 3 months early. I was born with weaker lungs, so I'm already at a disadvantage compared to normal people. And when I get a trigger, like on a public bus, I will pass out. My wife has to be with me at all times if we ever go on a public bus, especially up here in Washington because people smoke pot as well as wear perfume and cologne, and that's no good. So, with asthma as bad as mine, you gotta be really careful about. Oh, my head. You gotta be really careful about triggers and stuff. So, what do I take? Well, I take a pill called Montelukast or Singulair. I take 2 hits of Advair a day. And I take my Ventolin as needed. And by the way, the people who've changed the filtration system or the delivery system or whatever because of the environment can suck a dick because they used to the rescue inhalers used to work a lot better than they do now. Now they don't work as well. So yeah, I guess humans have to die so the environment can live. What the fuck ever. And that's not me being anti-environmental. That's just me being upset that my life was made considerably harder because the environment had to not have that specific brand of delivery system. So I went over how I got it. I went over how it affects me. How do I treat it? Well, I treat it with coffee. I treat it with hot baths because the steam, I guess, helps open my lungs up. Funnily enough, heat will trigger my asthma. Anything above 80 degrees and my lungs begin to kind of crap out. And then also, the cold actually helps my lungs. So like I said in the fibro video, the cold screws up my joints, but helps my lungs, and the heat kills my lungs and helps my joints. It's really weird. Oh, my head. Oh, that was not fun. Ooh. Fun fact, when you start to gray out, and you burst energy to not gray out, you get a migraine. That kind of sucks. So this video will not be nearly as popular or as well liked as my fibro video, and I'm totally fine with that, but I wanted to show irrefutably that you can have lungs that are that bad. And I wanted to go over, what life is like living with asthma. And basically what it is like is avoidance. I can't work because of my lungs. My lungs are actually that bad. The fibro is bad. My lungs are worse. My lungs are actually worse than my eyesight, and I'm called Blind Ryan, which I got in jail. And so, what does that tell you? So, if you have asthma, find out what your triggers are. Find out how to get rid of them. Ventolin, albuterol. but also, try to find those other tricks like my coffee, like hot baths, hot showers. Fuck. That's good for air. Oh, damn. Anyway, I hope this video has been informative. I'm sorry it wasn't as long or as good or as well organized as my last one, but I really wanted to make it. I don't want any political bullshit in the comments. I will be moderating them very heavily. I don't mind political discourse. If you want political discourse, join my Discord, but this is not the place for it. This is the place for people to discuss, what it's like living with asthma. How do you deal with your asthma? All that happy horseshit. Can you wear masks? How do you deal with the masked society that we live in? And by the way, the masked society that we live in, I do want to make a point of this. If everyone's going to have to wear masks, they need to come up with some kind of exemption for people with asthma or people who've been through trauma. Because my wife went through trauma when she was in Arizona, back when she was a kid, involving the Mexican cartel that I'm not going to go into. And if she has anything covering her mouth, she will flip the fuck out. Like, she will have legitimate panic attacks, go catatonic. It's really nasty. And luckily she can wear a face shield so she can work, but if it ever comes into mandatory masks, neither of us is going to be able to leave the house, and she makes money. So, I mean, we need to, as a society, we need to come up with exemptions for people with extenuating circumstances. So, like I said, I'm not here to talk about masks. I'm not here to talk about, whether we should or shouldn't wear them. Everybody's got their opinion. Even doctors can't agree. But this isn't the place for that. This is the place for talking about asthma and how you deal with your asthma, and do masks have any effect on that, or, anything like that. So, anyway, I hope this has been informative. I hope you can excuse the swearing. I'm really trying to be better about that with these informative videos rather than, my usual, messing around on Twitch and stuff. Fucking hell. So, either way, I have been Blind Ryan, severely asthmatic Blind Ryan, and I will see you all next time.